September 2022. And when we come back, we'll bring you a story about how the gubernatorial campaigns on Guam are responding to our questions about what they will do to help with the high cost of living if elected for the next 4 years, and also a little update on the hurricane that battered Florida, Hurricane Ian, when we come back from these messages from our sponsors.
Right now, we are seeing a rise in energy prices. We feel it at the pump, at the store, or each time we get our CUC bill. This is causing everyone to make difficult choices. Businesses are having to increase prices or reduce hours. Families are having to choose between keeping the aircon on or putting food on the table. Lieutenant Governor Arnold and Mayor Dave's commitment to our Commonwealth is demonstrated through their 30-plus years of public service. Their experiences have allowed them the opportunity to personally interact with our community during their most difficult moments, and for that, they have a better understanding of the needs of our people. The CNMI needs leaders that will promote policies that create jobs, grow paychecks, and improve the economic security of the CNMI businesses and families. We hear you, Marianas. It's time to get this government back in order. This election, please vote Arnold and Dave.
I'm so disappointed. I don't know what is happening to the island.
Would you say you have a safer Guam today?
I do. Yes, I do.
I'm Felix Camacho, and I approve this message.
I'm Elaine Tamanyal Johnson, and I'm voting for Joe S. San Augustine. Woo-hoo!
Afade Guahu si Joe Mesngun. Kugagagaham du Toru para un fanbota si Joe S. San Augustine para senador.
Hafaday, I'm Crystal Augustine. I'm from Malesu, and I'm voting for Joe.
Ako si Winston Ilisito. Iboto natin si Joe San Agustin for Senator. Mabuhay!
I'm Senator Joe Shimizu San Augustine, and I approve this message.
Half a day, dear people of Guam. My name is Pete Santos, and I approve this message. I am the only candidate that's running for Attorney General that has the proven track record, the required skills, and the leadership ability to make Guam safe again. Please write me in for Attorney General of Guam this election. Thank you, si Diyos maasi. Maraming salamat po. and Kiraso.
We have to all work together because we do need to deter crime. We do need to decrease crime.
There's a lot of news coming out, rape cases, children. It's so hard to believe.
I'm Felix Camacho, and I approve this message.
Welcome back. Congressman Michael St. Nicholas last week grilled executives from the nation's largest banks that yielded concessions they will be increasing the interest they pay on savings deposits for the average American. Here is a clip from that hearing of the House Financial Services Committee.
Recognizes the gentleman from Guam, Mr. San Nicolas. You're recognized for 5 minutes. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Can you hear me okay?
Can you make it louder?
Loud and clear, yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to first begin by recognizing Ms. Frazier and Citigroup. The conversation I'm going to have actually involves all the panelists, but I wanted to begin with her company and herself. As based on our research, it looks like Citigroup pays 5 times more in interest to its depositors than the rest of the individuals sitting at the table. Ms. Frazier, is it correct that your deposits are currently yielding a 0.05% interest rate?
We believe that we have a variety of different deposit products, and we believe them to be competitive and fair.
Well, the information I have here on your basic account package is a 0.05% interest rate. Is that correct?
We do have one of our deposit products that has that. That is correct.
And for the rest of the panel, is it fair to say that my numbers here are accurate, that the remainder of you are paying about 0.01% on deposits?
That isn't accurate.
Could you please clarify then for me the figure?
Yes, our base account pays about the same as Citigroup's at 5 basis points or so, but we have many products that pay substantially more, and it varies. But I don't know of any that pay 0.
Okay, so can we just clarify this and just go across the board from left to right and just on the record for the American people, tell us what your basic standard savings deposit is currently yielding in your institutions. Mr. Chairman, I'm requesting the panel to respond.
Let's go from left to right. Sarah?
We have a variety of products that range from 5 basis points to over 200 basis points, depending upon the size of the deposit as well as the tenor of the deposit.
Thank you, Mr.
Yeah,
Demchak.
the general public accounts is what I'm talking about. The majority of your deposits, what are they yielding right now?
The general retail deposit would be at that lower end of that range, and then there are also CDs available for term deposits that approach 3%.
Sure. I don't have a lot of time. Can we just go across the board, please,
Right.
Mr. Chairman?
We're the same. 5 basis points at the lower end with different products yielding more depending on several factors.
Thank you. Mr. Diamond?
We're pretty much the same as everybody else here.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes, we're in the same range.
Mr. Monahan?
We have a range of products that would cover the same ranges as my colleagues have spoke about.
Mr. Rogers?
We have a very similar approach.
Mr. Schaaf?
I believe we're in the same range.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. As inflation is battering our public, and as interest rates are rising and causing credit card interest rates to go up and general consumer interest rates to go up, it's just an across-the-board devastation for the American public. We have had it on the record earlier today that there is, quote, more money in their accounts, end quote, in all of these financial institutions. In other words, there's a lot more deposits being held by these financial institutions as interest rates are rising. One of the only silver linings in a rising interest rate environment is that savers are supposed to be rewarded for their savings. They're supposed to see the interest that they earn on their savings accounts go up. And yet what we have here is a Fed funds rate that's currently, Mr. Chairman, at 2.5%. On the record, Fed funds rate at 2.5%, with our depository institutions paying between 0.01% and 0.05%, which means that on risk-free money being put to the Fed, they're making anywhere between 2.45% interest to 2.49% interest on the deposits of their customers. And so I wanted to ask across the board real quick, Mr. Chairman, can they confirm whether or not they're going to be increasing the interest rate that they're paying to their depositors at any time soon?
Mr. Cicero, you heard the question.
Yes, I did. Thank you. We would expect to continue to monitor rates and raise rates as appropriate, given what's going on with the Fed as well as our competition.
Mr. Demchak?
The same. You'd expect us to raise them over time.
Mr. Diamond?
We expect them likely to go up soon.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes, we will.
Mr. Moynihan?
Rates will go up in the future with this rate structure.
Thank you. Mr. Rogers?
Yes, we'll be raising them.
And Mr. Scharf?
Yes, the same.
Thank you.
Yield back, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Those bankers looked very happy, huh? Should invite them to a Chamorro-style fiesta here on Guam. Put some smiles on their faces about having to pay their customers more in savings interest. Following the hearing, Mr. St. Nicholas lamented, quote, "Really breaks my heart to hear Dad sharing that a 4-pack of apple turnover is $8 or to see water rates going up 2 times at 5.5% compounded interest while elevated and subsidized power rates stay where they are and gas prices are a hair below $5, all while oil drops to $80 a barrel. Trolls attacking us for fighting for the better interest rates for American savings accounts while making excuses for why no one is fighting for the cost of living on Guam. Literally, no one is. And excuses abound for why no one bothers to. Life doesn't need to be stuck and bleak and desperate for the people, for so many of our people. We just need to make changing it for the better, for everyone, for the future, more important than ourselves, our connections, our cronies, and fight for the interests of the people."
The congressman's criticism of the cost of living on Guam got us curious. Kandit sent a question to the gubernatorial campaigns of Leon Guerrero Tenorio and Camacho Ada. What will your candidates for governor do to help reduce the cost of living on Guam? We ask that you include solutions to the high cost of power, housing, rent, and taxes. Kandit will publish both campaigns' full responses in a story today. The Leon Guerrero campaign, in part, said, quote, "The long-term solution to holding down our cost of living requires that we reduce our reliance on expensive imports and diversify the economy to bring in higher-paying jobs." The Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration is implementing several measures to achieve this goal. 1. Building on the 12% solar energy that we have to put in place, we need to expand our use of renewable energy further so that we can harness the sun to replace expensive imported fuel and drive down power bills for everyone. 2. Green economy programs like G3 and Zero Waste to recycle waste like plastic into usable consumer goods. 3. Expansion of local agriculture to increase food security and reduce our reliance on expensive food imports. 4. Developing practical options to increase local manufacturing such as additive manufacturing, 3D printing. 5. Expanding the capabilities and reach of public transit. In addition, diversification in broadband, transshipment, and the construction of a new medical campus will also bring with it higher wage jobs for Guam's people.
The Camacho Ada campaign in part stated, quote, "In the first 100 days of their administration, the Camacho Ada team will perform a forensic review of the government of Guam finances given the anticipated ending of federal funds provided under the American Rescue Plan Act and other coronavirus response-related funding. We recognize the pain and struggle of our business community, most especially the small businesses. While the Guam legislature is intent in increasing the business privilege tax was only temporary as an offset to the federal tax cuts, the Camacho Ada team is committed to rolling back the BPT from 5 to 4%. The Camacho Ada team will aggressively pursue taxes owed by off-island nationally based contractors, especially those involved with the Department of Defense contracts. Additionally, When elected, Felix Camacho and Tony Ada will mobilize large tracts of government land, federal and local funding sources, developers and contractors, and financing partners to build, develop, and finance affordable homes. In an effort to further decrease the cost of living on Guam, the Camacho Ada team will support changes to public policy that reduces the cost of shipping goods to Guam. This includes applying for a selective exemption to the Jones Act, even on a temporary basis. The Camacho Ada team will work vigorously with our friends and partners in Washington, D.C. to seek this important exemption as a means to revitalize the economy.
In national news, Hurricane Ian made landfall in Florida Wednesday afternoon Eastern Time, bringing super typhoon strength wind speeds of 150 miles an hour as a Category 4 storm. The hurricane, according to national news reports, has brought severe flooding, high winds, and storm surges to the Florida coast. U.S. Border Patrol is looking for up to 23 migrants now missing after their ship sank during the storm.
Our prayers for Florida. Now, when we come back, actually, let's talk a little bit more about that. It's our prayers for Florida. I don't want to make it sound like just so trite, right? The 23 people missing, that's a sad thing.
Yeah.
Do we have any more information about, were there any other casualties? Category 4 storm that's pretty strong, 150 miles per hour. They call it a hurricane because of, it's the same thing as a typhoon. It's just the terminology is different because of what part of the world that we're in. So what they experience, 150 miles per hour maximum sustained winds, that's what we would call a super typhoon. Anything 150 miles per hour and more is a super typhoon. And so that's a big thing. And, not all homes in Florida are concrete homes. Like most homes on Guam are concrete. And so do we have any information about any other casualties?
No, but I did see a video, or I saw a video and it would look pretty bad. Like it looked like things were flying everywhere.
Oh. Just like in Guam, when we had Super Typhoon Pongsona, remember that? Oh, you were so young, never mind.
I remember.
So she was a child. So when we come back, there are two big debates happening in the Marianas today. An AG debate on Guam and a gubernatorial debate in the Commonwealth. Stick with us, and we'll bring you more when we come back from these messages from our sponsors.
Bottom line is we're going to make you a better person. You're going to be healthier and fitter than you were before.
I just noticed in the Paris Place commercial, and Danielle's the one that did the video work on that. I just noticed that my stupid butt is dancing.
You only noticed now?
Yes,
I was like, make sure you
now.
put that one in.
And you know what I was dancing to, and I was drunk. P.S.
That was my favorite.
And P.S.S. I don't know how to dance at all.
Neither do I.
I was dancing to Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
What is that line about your father when you there was a line where you were like really into it?
I don't know, but for whatever reason, Like a Virgin is playing in my mind. We were listening to it this morning. Anyway, did you know that at Paris Place you can have a fundraiser at Paris Place? Like, you know how people have like it's mostly medical fundraisers, right? And most bars charge like a big security deposit, and then they take like maybe 30%.
Yeah, Eric's been doing research on that, huh?
Yeah, so Eric Rosario, because the sister is raising money for the sister's daughter for off-island medical treatment called Paris Place, and it's a very low security deposit, and the split is actually much better than all of the other bars. Yeah, and so if you're gonna have a fundraiser, call up Paris Place. They'll hook you up.
Speaking of,
can you tell us that there's a medical fundraiser for a Robert Boleto?
Okay. He's got a heart condition, and they are trying to raise $10,000 for his off-island treatment. He has to go to Los Angeles, California, and he's supposed to leave as soon as October 10th. So there's a GoFundMe page. If you search up Robert Boleto Medical Fundraiser, you'll see it there. And they're also having a fundraiser at Las Vegas and Antigua on October 1st.
That's this Saturday, right?
Yes. So if you can help in any way.
$10, you get one free beverage. They'll have raffles, standard stuff for medical fundraisers on Guam. So if you want to help Mr. Boleto, please, you can go to his fundraiser at Las Vegas Lounge.
Or you can go to
or you can just do a GoFundMe. GoFundMe.com. Search for what?
Robert Boleto Medical Fundraiser.
Okay, cool. Very cool. This is not in our lineup, but I wanted to talk about it because there are just a few days left. If you are a GovGuam employee or retiree, the government of Guam extended the deadline for open enrollment for insurance.
I've been seeing that everywhere, yeah.
Yeah, and it's important to a lot of GovGuam employees, and especially retirees, because of the rate increases over at Select Care.
Yeah.
One of the spouses of a retiree was telling me that the rate that they get increased more than 500% under Select Care, and so it's unaffordable for them. They have to switch to Take Care. And one of the apprehensions that this person had, which led me to call up people and ask what's going on with this, was in coverage for medications, the pharmaceutical, and so I got some commitments from Take Care executives that you don't have to worry about that. Whatever discrepancies there were in the past between Take Care and Select Care have been resolved by a new pharmacy agreement that the government of Guam has entered into. So basically, if your medications were covered by Select Care, your medications will be covered by Take Care. That's the long and short of it. And so there really is nothing to worry about anymore. I know that was a worry in the past.
Yeah.
So really the only thing to worry about now is how much the rates are. And the rates have gone up for both carriers, but the rates are much cheaper for Take Care. And so if you're going to make the switch from Select Care to Take Care, make sure you do it before October 10th. Do it today, matter of fact. Don't wait. There may be a process to it. No, there definitely is a process to it, but prior to the extension of open enrollment, the process, according to GovGuam employees, was very difficult. There were people who were going over to Select Care to make the switch over, and they were reporting that the forms weren't there. Yeah, and so and there was no online
option
as well at the time. I don't know if that's changed.
I remember that.
But if you don't make the switch, and if you still are in Select Care, on October 14, your paycheck is going to be deducted a lot for the new premium. And if you can no longer handle that premium after some time, there's not going to be an option for you to switch to Take Care after open enrollment. The only option you're going to have is to drop your insurance. Wow. And then you won't have coverage for an entire fiscal year. And so if you're going to make the switch, now's the time. Now's the time. Today at 10:30 thereabouts, we will be live casting the Attorney General's debate that's going to happen over the Hilton Guam Resort and Spa. And it is going to be a debate among 3 candidates for Attorney General.
Oh, yeah.
Attorney General Leven Camacho, former Attorney General Doug Moylan, and Attorney General write-in candidate Peter Santos. So, if you thought the first AG debate was exciting, get ready for this one. And I'm at the first AG debate, Leven Camacho was more spirited than he normally is. And so that made for, and of course Doug Moylan is highly spirited. He's not one to take. He's the
toughest AG on crime, right?
He's a boxer, And then you add in Peter Santos.
I know.
To this.
Right?
This is going to be an exciting debate.
Shows you don't know what's going on.
He shouted that, right?
Yes. He wanted to be in there, yeah. Oh, and shout out to 76 in Sinahanya.
Oh yeah, thank you. So they gave us the coffees today.
I know, so awesome.
Yeah, so shout out
and
to 76 in Sinahanya. Yeah, it absolutely.
When it's free.
Thank you for my espresso roast. It tastes better when it's free. And then tonight we're not done. We're not done with the fun. So today's a day of fireworks in the Marianas because tonight the Saipan Chamber of Commerce is hosting a debate among the 3 gubernatorial candidates, Representative Tina Sablan, the Democrat, Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacios, the Independent, and the Republican incumbent Governor Ralph Torres. All take the stage tonight at, is it Saipan World's Resort or... It's at some hotel. I can't remember. It's some hotel in Saipan. We're going to be live streaming it live for you. So that's going to be another one. There's been so much conjecture and rumor out there about the fairness of this debate because of the close ties between the chairman and vice chairman of the Saipan Chamber of Commerce and Governor Ralph Torres and his administration and the number of contracts that certain businesses have received and the millions of dollars that have been made through the ARPA funds via Governor Ralph Torres. So there's all these rumors that, his cronies have given him the questions ahead of time. But, I tell people, I don't know that really matters. Of course it matters. Fairness matters, of course. But what I'm saying is that Tina Sablan's smart. Arnold Palacios is smart. Like they're quick on their feet. Even if there's an unfair advantage for Governor Ralph Torres getting the questions early,
I don't know. Tina's so genuine. I think that shows through, right?
That will absolutely show through. And so perhaps if that is true that the questions were given to the administration ahead of time, perhaps all his cronies did was help to level the playing field because Tina Sablan and Arnold Palacios definitely go into the debate with the advantage of being smart, quick on their feet, aware of the issues, and really having public opinion on their side. Governor Ralph Torres is a highly unpopular governor in the Commonwealth because of the allegations of corruption and cronyism that, I don't know, frankly, are kind of obvious.
Have you ever met him? Is he like a personable, is he approachable?
I imagine that he is. I've met his brother Victorino here at the building. He has an office here, and I guess whenever he comes to Guam, and he's very nice. Mm-hmm. He seems approachable. I haven't met Governor Ralph Torres or any of his other siblings. I am told though that we're related.
Yeah, that's your dad's side, right?
That's my dad's side of the family. I'm not proud of that.
You can get these stories and more on CandidNews.com.
Now we ask that you join us in turning our attention to the only talk show on Guam of any significance or consequence, The Ray Gibson Show on the radio dial at 93.3 FM. Where we go is Facebook Live on The Point Guam, or you can watch them on YouTube Live on The Ray Gibson Show. For Candid News, I'm Troy Torres.
And I'm Danielle Baza.
Good morning, Marianas.